Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Eric Ten Hag reveals his plans for World Cup period with remaining stars. Eric Ten Hag has laid out his plans for the Manchester United squad, who will remain with the club during the World Cup. The United boss has told the club's official website that he intends to work hard with the remaining player over what will be a unique time of the season. The Dutchman took charge of an unusual press conference yesterday, taking questions from supporters rather than a journalist, which is the norm. With the 12 lucky representatives in attendance at the club's Carrington training complex, the United manager answered the questions on a wide range of topics. Upon being asked what his plans were by one of the official supporters clubs present, he went on to say, "We have a lot of players that are going to the World Cup, and we are happy with that, as it means we have top-class players." He went on to discuss how the players who won't be in Qatar will be given some much-needed time off too by saying, "For the ones that stay behind, and there are not a lot, it gives us the opportunity first of all to reflect on the last period and to make new plans, not only on how we are going in the right direction, but how we can improve. It can also give us the opportunity. We talk about young players. We will bring them in so that they can present themselves to us," he said, giving encouragement to the next crop of youngsters trying to make it at the club. And when quizzed on the fighting spirit that he is trying to instill throughout the club, the former Ajax boss added, "First of all, I want to emphasize, if you are talking about the spirit, one thing that I notice here, when you see the history, Manchester United in their history won a lot of trophies, a lot of titles, and it was always by team spirit and fighting spirit. Manchester United also had fabulous offensive players who I know were really the most creative and really recognizable players who fans could identify with. After all, it's the team spirit and the team fighting that was the base that is in the culture of Manchester United." Paul Parker feels that Jadon Sancho could become the worst buy ever in Manchester United history. Former Manchester United defender Paul Parker feels that Jadon Sancho could become the worst buy ever in the history of Manchester United. The ex-Red Devil believed the Old Trafford side overpaid for the England international. The 22-year-old was signed by the Manchester-based club in the summer of 2021 from Borussia Dortmund. "We paid £73 million for the winger's move from Germany to England. Sancho was one of the best talents in the Bundesliga. After being acquired by Dortmund from Manchester City, the forward thrived in Germany for a few seasons. In the 1920 campaign, the 22-year-old featured in 44 games in all competitions for Dortmund. The winger scored 20 goals and provided 20 assists, having the best season of his career in terms of numbers. However, the England international has failed to replicate that form at United. Some fans expected the former Dortmund star to take the Premier League by storm when he was signed. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. Sancho has been underwhelming in the current campaign as well under Eric Ten Hag, and speaking to Petros, Parker has not been impressed with Sancho's displays for the Red Devils. He went on to say, "If you look at the money Man United paid for him, I would say that he could end up being the worst buy ever in Manchester United's history. To be honest, I have never really understood why Man United paid so much money for Jadon Sancho." The 22-year-old has a decent start to the new season under the Dutch manager. Unfortunately, he has not been able to keep up the pace and has been inconsistent. In recent weeks, Alejandro Garnacho has started on the left wing and has looked lively. Sancho has looked devoid of confidence at United. He has not going in a red shirt. Hopefully, the England international can find his feet soon and contribute to taking the club back to the top. Anthony Martial feels the style of Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag perfect for him. Manchester United star Anthony Martial feels the style of play of Eric Ten Hag is perfect for him. The France international is delighted with how the Dutch manager wants the team to play. The forward had been underwhelming in past campaigns. However, the 26-year-old has been impressive this season in the few appearances he has managed for the Red Devils under Ten Hag. Speaking to the club's official website, Martial believes the intensity the Dutch manager has brought to United has helped him thrive. He went on to say, He is a very good manager and a very meticulous person who pays attention to all the details. He wants us to produce good football with a desire to press for the loss of the ball. It's perfect for me, for my style of play. The France international signed for the Old Trafford side in the summer of 2015 from Monaco. However, his time in Manchester has been inconsistent. In League One, the 26-year-old was considered the biggest young talent during his time there. However, the forward has failed to fulfill his potential with the Red Devils. Some fans expected him to leave in the recent transfer window. However, the 26-year-old put in some decent displays during pre-season under Ten Hag and ended up staying at the club. Unfortunately, injuries have hampered Martial's opportunities this term. As a result, he has only managed 6 appearances in all competitions. However, the 26-year-old has scored 4 goals and provided 2 assists in the few minutes he has been handed. Hopefully, the France international can get over his fitness issues and be available for the Dutch manager on a regular basis from now on. Rio Ferdinand warns Gareth Southgate against Harry Maguire ahead of World Cup. Rio Ferdinand has urged Gareth Southgate to drop Manchester United captain Harry Maguire ahead of England's World Cup campaign. The former United defender believes that Southgate has better options to choose from going into the tournament. Speaking to TalkSport, Ferdinand said, "Walker would start for me at centre half, but he is not fit. Will he make it? I don't know. John Stones would be the first name on the team sheet, and I will be honest, I just can't pick who else it's going to be. It's that difficult. Chalobah is playing well right now, but when we get to the tournament, is he going to be in that same form? Or is Gareth even going to pick someone like Chalobah, who hasn't really been around it? Will Tomori get another sniff? It's difficult to think who is going to play. Will you play Harry Maguire, who hasn't played any games? I think you need to be playing week in, week out. I think Gareth is a very loyal man. He knows what Harry Maguire brings him. Listen, Harry Maguire has never ever let him down in an England shirt. Let's be blunt about that. So that will carry some weight, I think, but I don't know. Going into the tournament as a player who hasn't played any football, it's difficult. It's different going in injured. He went into a tournament on the back of an injury, remember, and played well, but going in and not playing and having no rhythm as well, it's hard work that. Maguire will be traveling to Qatar, but it's unclear how much of an impact he will be able to make for the Three Lions given his circumstances. Alejandro Garnacho puts on a magical display against Aston Villa. Manchester United defeated Aston Villa 4-2 to move to the last 16 of the Carabao Cup. Eric Ten Hag rang a bunch of changes to his side. Donny van de Beek and Harry Maguire failed to strengthen their case for a starting role, but Alejandro Garnacho's dazzling cameo shows that Ten Hag has a lethal attacking weapon at his disposal. The 18-year-old came off the bench after the hour mark, with the Red Devils trailing 2-1. His introduction was like a breath of fresh air as he dominated the proceedings on the left flank. He took on the defenders with supreme pace and dribbling skills, forcing them to backpedal. The Argentine wonderkid finished the game with 100% passing accuracy, 2 shoots and 2 assists. His first of the assists was an easy one, with Villa's goalkeeper passing the ball straight to the teenager, who maintained his composure and found Bruno Fernandes. The Portuguese midfielder fired the ball back into the net to bring the score back to parity for the second time. Garnacho continued his direct runs, which Villa found too hard to deal with. He almost scored an astonishing goal when he collected the ball from his own half and ran past the 3 opponents. A last gasp block from Callum Chambers restricted the ball from going past the shot stopper. His best contribution came in injury time when his outrageous cross found Scott McTominay, who scored United's 4th goal to confirm their progression in the tournament. He played a delightful ball over the top of the Villa defense from the left touchline to pick up his teammates' run. Facundo Pellistri looks set for a January exit after latest Eric Ten Hag snub. Manchester United youngster Facundo Pellistri could be set for a January exit after the latest snub from manager Eric Ten Hag. The 20-year-old received splendid news on Thursday afternoon as he was picked by Uruguay for the upcoming World Cup. It was anticipated that he could go on to make his United debut later in the day, but the youngster was left on the bench. The right winger was an unused substitute for the 12th straight game. Anthony Elanga, got the nod over him in the second half. With United trailing 2-1 at the hour mark, Eric Ten Hag's decision to pick Elanga on the right wing was probably justified. Elanga is experienced within the United ranks compared to Pellistri, who has yet to make a competitive appearance for them. However, the youngster should feel aggrieved by the latest snub, and we won't be surprised if he moves on in the new year. His agent has already said that a winter exit is imminent if the youngster goes on to shine for Uruguay at the World Cup finals. Pellistri is also said to be determined to leave United. He is eyeing a permanent transfer rather than a short-term loan. His showing in Qatar could have a big say on his future. The club spent €8.5 million to sign him from Penarol in 2020. United are open to sale this winter to make some cash. They will surely want to recoup the entire fee paid for his services. Aside from the Uruguay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Donny van de Beek are among other players that could leave in January. Bayern Munich will not sell Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting to Manchester United. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting will not be allowed to join Manchester United from Bayern Munich. That is according to journalist Christian Falk, who tweeted, "True, FC Bayern won't agree to a transfer of Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting to Manchester United in winter." United had been linked with the former Stoke City striker as an option to reinforce Erik Ten Hag's attacking options. The manager has repeatedly insisted that his squad needs more options in forward areas, and form and fitness have affected his selections throughout the campaign. Anthony Martial has rarely been available due to a string of injuries, while Cristiano Ronaldo has managed just one Premier League goal in 520 minutes on the pitch. Whether or not the latter even remains a Man United player after the January transfer window is unclear at this stage. Outside of those two, only Marcus Rashford is an option for the central striker position, although he is far more comfortable operating from the left flank. All of that could prompt United to a move for a stop-back striker to get through the season, with long-term targets such as Victor Osimhen highly unlikely to move mid-season. Choupo-Moting presented an interesting option as a player with a Premier League experience, a track record playing for big clubs, and being in sensational form. The Cameroonian has scored 5 goals in his last 4 appearances for the Bundesliga giants, but the news that Bayern Munich have no interest in letting Choupo-Moting go means that United will need to expand their search for a short-term striker. Alternatively, the club could move up their timeline and look to do some of their summer business early. Manchester United set to rival Liverpool for Borussia Dortmund youngster Moukoko. Manchester United are set to rival Liverpool for the signing of Borussia Dortmund youngster Youssoufa Moukoko, according to Sport Bild via Team Talk. The Red Devils are expected to enter the market in 2023 to sign a new striker, and the 17-year-old is one of the players the club are eyeing to bolster the forward line. Cristiano Ronaldo will likely depart the club in either January or next summer. The Portugal international has been a bit part player at the Old Trafford side in the current campaign. The Portugal international missed most of the pre-season under Eric Ten Hag, and the Dutch manager has started other forwards ahead of the 37-year-old Ronaldo for most of the campaign, which shows that the Red Devils are already preparing for life without the former Real Madrid winger. The Portuguese star has not been at his best. The 37-year-old has struggled to find the back of the net in the current season. Moukoko has been in fine form for Dortmund in the last few fixtures. The 17-year-old has been afforded more game time. He has registered 6 goals and 6 assists in 21 appearances for Dortmund this term. Dortmund obviously want to secure his long-term future with them when he turns 18, but the youngster has the ball in his court, having yet to sign a professional contract. United should be a lucrative destination for the emerging talent. The Red Devils can easily match his salary demands as well as agent fees and any other compensation. His arrival could also allow United to focus on pursuing another marquee striker. This would permit Moukoko to develop under Ten Hag without the pressure of expectations. The German international is heading to the World Cup. However, will United sign the youngster in the coming transfer windows? Only time will tell. I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.